and man named all the cattle and the fowl of the heavens and all the beasts of the field, but for man, he did not find a helpmate opposite him. 21 And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon man, and he slept, and he took one of his sides, and he closed the flesh in its place. 22 And the Lord God built the side that he had taken from man into a woman, and he brought her to man. 23 And man said, This time, it is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. This one shall be called Isha, woman, because this one was taken from Ish, man. 24 Therefore, a man shall leave his father and his mother, and cleave to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. 25 Now they were both naked, the man and his wife, but they were not ashamed. Chapter 4 1 Now the serpent was cunning, more than all the beasts of the field that the Lord God had made, and it said to the woman, Did God indeed say, You shall not eat of any of the trees of the garden? 2 And the woman said to the serpent, Of the fruit of the trees of the garden we may eat. 3 But of the fruit of the tree that is in the midst of the garden, God said, You shall not eat of it, and you shall not touch it, lest you die. 4 And the serpent said to the woman, You will surely not die. 5 For God knows that on the day that you eat thereof, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like angels, knowing good and evil. 6 And the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was a delight to the eyes, and the tree was desirable to make one wise. So she took of its fruit, and she ate, and she gave also to her husband with her, and he ate. 7 And the eyes of both of them were opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves and made themselves girdles. 8 And they heard the voice of the Lord God going in the garden to the direction of the sun, and the man and his wife hid from before the Lord God in the midst of the trees of the garden. 9 And the Lord God called to man, and he said to him, Where are you? 10 And he said, I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I am naked. So I hid. 11 And he said, Who told you that you are naked? Have you eaten from the tree of which I commanded you not to eat? 12 And the man said, The woman whom you gave to be with me, she gave me of the tree. So I ate. 13 And the Lord God said to the woman, What is this that you have done? And the woman said, The serpent enticed me, and I ate. 14 And the Lord God said to the serpent, Because you have done this, cursed be you more than all the cattle and more than all the beasts of the field. You shall walk on your belly, and you shall eat dust all the days of your life. 15 And I shall place hatred between you and between the woman, and between your seed and between her seed. He will crush your head, and you will bite his heel. 16 To the woman he said, I shall surely increase your sorrow and your pregnancy. In pain you shall bear children. And to your husband will be your desire, and he will rule over you. 17 And to man he said, Because you listened to your wife, and you ate from the tree from which I commanded you, saying, You shall not eat of it, cursed be the ground for your sake. With toil shall you eat of it all the days of your life. 18 And it will cause thorns and thistles to grow for you, and you shall eat the herbs of the field. 19 With the sweat of your face you shall eat bread, until you return to the ground, for you were taken therefrom, for dust you are, and to dust you will return. 20 And the man named his wife Eve, because she was the mother of all life. 21 And the Lord God made for Adam and for his wife shirts of skin, and he dressed them. 22 Now the Lord God said, Behold, man has become like one of us, having the ability of knowing good and evil, and now, lest he stretch forth his hand and take also from the tree of life and eat and live forever. 23 And the Lord God sent him out of the Garden of Eden, to till the soil, whence he had been taken. 24 And he drove the man out, and he stationed from the east of the Garden of Eden the cherubim and the blade of the revolving sword, to guard the way to the tree of life. Chapter 5 1 Now the man knew his wife Eve, and she conceived and bore Cain, and she said, I have acquired a man with the Lord. 2 And she continued to bear his brother Abel, and Abel was a shepherd of flocks, and Cain was a tiller of the soil. 3 Now it came to pass at the end of days, that Cain brought of the fruit of the soil an offering to the Lord. 4 And Abel he too brought of the firstborn of his flocks and of their fattest, and the Lord turned to Abel and to his offering. 5 But to Cain and to his offering he did not turn, and it annoyed Cain exceedingly, and his countenance fell. 6 And the Lord said to Cain, Why are you annoyed, and why has your countenance fallen? 7 Is it not so that if you improve, it will be forgiven you? If you do not improve, however, at the entrance, sin is lying, and to you is its longing, but you can rule over it. 8 And Cain spoke to Abel his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him. 9 And the Lord said to Cain, Where is Abel your brother? And he said, I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper? 10 And he said, What have you done? Hark! Your brother's blood cries out to me from the earth. 11 And now, you are cursed even more than the ground, which opened its mouth to take your brother's blood from your hand. 12 When you till the soil, it will not continue to give its strength to you. You shall be a wanderer and an exile in the land. 13 And Cain said to the Lord, Is my iniquity too great to bear? 14 Behold, you have driven me today off the face of the earth, and I shall be hidden from before you, and I will be a wanderer and an exile in the land, and it will be that whoever finds me will kill me. 15 And the Lord said to him, Therefore, whoever kills Cain, vengeance will be wrought upon him sevenfold. And the Lord placed a mark on Cain that no one who find him slay him. 16 And Cain went forth from before the Lord, and he dwelt in the land of the wanderers, to the east of Eden. 17 And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bore Enoch, and he was building a city, and he called the city after the name of his son, Enoch. 18 And Arad was born to Enoch, and Arad begot Mehujael, and Mehujael begot Methushel, and Methushel begot Lamech. 19 And Lamech took himself 2 wives. One was named Adah, and the other was named Zillah. 20 Now Adah bore Jabal. He was the father of those who dwell in tents and have cattle. 21 And his brother's name was Jubal. He was the father of all who grasp a lyre and a flute. 22 And Zillah she too bore Tubal-Cain, who sharpened all tools that cut copper and iron, and Tubal-Cain's sister was Naamah. 23 Now Lamech said to his wives, Adah and Zillah, Hearken to my voice. Wives of Lamech, incline your ears to my words, for I have slain a man by wounding him and a child by bruising him. 24 If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, then for Lamech it shall be 77-fold. 25 And Adam knew his wife again, and she bore a son, and she named him Seth, for God has given me other seed, instead of Abel, for Cain slew him. 26 And to Seth also to him a son was born, and he named him Enosh. Then it became common to call by the name of the Lord. Chapter 5 1 This is the narrative of the generations of man. On the day that God created man, in the likeness of God he created him. 2 Male and female he created them, and he blessed them, and he named them man Adam on the day they were created. 3 And Adam lived 130 years, and he begot in his likeness after his image, and he named him Seth. 4 And the days of Adam after he begot Seth were 800 years, and he begot sons and daughters. 5 And all the days of Adam that he lived were 930 years, and he died. 6 And Seth lived 105 years, and he begot Enosh. 7 And Seth lived after he had begotten Enosh 807 years, and he begot sons and daughters. 8 And all the days of Seth were 912 years, and he died. 9 And Enosh lived 90 years, and he begot Kenan. 10 And Enosh lived after he had begotten Kenan 815 years, and he begot sons and daughters. 11 And all the days of Enosh were 905 years, and he died. 12 And Kenan lived 70 years, and he begot Mahalalel. 13 And Kenan lived after he had begotten Mahalalel 840 years, and he begot sons and daughters. 14 And all the days of Kenan were 910 years, and he died. 15 And Mahalalel lived 65 years, and he begot Jared. 16 And Mahalalel lived after he had begotten Jared 830 years, and he begot sons and daughters. 17 And all the days of Mahalalel were 895 years, and he died. 18 And Jared lived 162 years, and he begot Enoch. 19 And Jared lived after he had begotten Enoch 800 years, and he begot sons and daughters. 20 And all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died. 21 And Enoch lived 65 years, and he begot Methuselah. 22 And Enoch walked with God after he had begotten Methuselah 300 years, and he begot sons and daughters. 23 And all the days of Enoch were 365 years. 24 And Enoch walked with God, and he was no longer, for God had taken him. 25 And Methuselah lived 187 years, and he begot Lamech. 26 And Methuselah lived after he had begotten Lamech 782 years, and he begot sons and daughters. 27 And all the days of Methuselah were 969 years, and he died. 28 And Lamech lived 182 years, and he begot a son. 29 And he named him Noah, saying, This one will give us rest from our work and from the toil of our hands from the ground, which the Lord has cursed. 30 And Lamech lived after he had begotten Noah 595 years, and he begot sons and daughters. 31 And all the days of Lamech were 777 years, and he died. 32 And Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begot Shem, Ham,